3:14 a.m. A woman steps outside. The world is quiet. Stars fill the sky like scattered diamonds. She whispers to herself, "Who made all this?" We've all had a moment like that, staring into the vastness of the night sky, watching someone we love take their last breath, or just feeling small in the middle of a crowded, chaotic world. And then it hits us. That aching question we can't quite shake. Who made this? Who's behind it all? It's not just a philosophical curiosity. It's a longing, a deep human need for meaning, for comfort, for someone to tell us, "It's okay. There's a reason. You're not alone." And that longing's not random. Science tells us our brains are wired for agency detection. Early humans heard rustling in the bushes. Was it the wind or a tiger? Assuming there was something behind the noise helped us survive. Today, that same instinct looks at the cosmos and sees a creator. We want there to be someone out there, a force, a mind, a plan. Even in the ancient Buddhist texts, there's a powerful story. The deity Brahmabhaka, who lived for eons in a radiant celestial realm. He thought he was eternal. He believed he was the uncaused cause, the ultimate creator. But then, the Buddha appears, and with a quiet, piercing gaze, reveals a truth Brahma never considered. Even gods are born from conditions. Even creators are created. It's a stunning idea. What if the question isn't, who made all this? But instead, why do I need someone to have made it? And that's just the beginning. Because once we let go of needing a creator, we open the door to a completely different kind of freedom. Pause. Beat. But what does that freedom actually look like? Stay with me. Part 1. The old answers and a new question. There's a question that haunts every human being, whether we're lying under a starry sky or sitting in a hospital room watching someone we love slip away. Where did all this come from? Who made this? Why are we here? For thousands of years, people have turned to one of the oldest and most powerful ideas we've ever had. There must be a creator, a divine architect, a cosmic mind, a being who imagined the universe into being and placed you deliberately right here in the middle of it. And to be honest, that story brings comfort. If God made the world, then our lives must mean something. We're not just accidents. We're part of a plan, a sacred script, written by hands we cannot see. But then, another story emerged. One that didn't come from temples or holy books, but from telescopes and particle accelerators and long nights in labs. The scientific version of our origin. It goes like this. In the beginning, there was nothing. No stars, no time, no space. And then boom, the Big Bang. A single moment when everything exploded into existence. Energy, matter, space, and time itself. It's awe-inspiring. A universe from nowhere. And yet, it leaves us with another haunting question. What came before that? Was there something before the bang? And if so, what caused that? Even Stephen Hawking, one of the brightest minds of our time, speculated that the laws of physics could have emerged spontaneously from what he called a quantum vacuum. An elegant phrase. But what does that really mean? If there's no creator and no before the beginning, what are we even doing here? And that's when the Buddha's voice quietly enters the conversation. Not to argue, not to debate, but to ask a very different kind of question. You see, 2,600 years ago, people asked the Buddha these same things. Is the world eternal? Who created it? Where did we come from? And the Buddha, he didn't answer. Not because he didn't know, but because, in his eyes, those questions were distractions. He told a story instead. A man is shot with a poisoned arrow, and instead of pulling it out, he starts asking, "Who made this arrow? What kind of wood is it? What tribe is the archer from?" The Buddha's point? You're dying. Focus on healing. So instead of who created the universe, the Buddha asked, what conditions caused this moment to arise? Not a first cause, not a cosmic person, but a chain of interwoven causes and effects, like waves rising from the sea, not because someone pushes them, but because of the wind, the tide, the moon. The wave is not made. It is born from the meeting of conditions. This changes everything, because it moves us away from needing to find a beginning and toward understanding what's unfolding right now. You weren't created once, long ago. You are being created in this very moment, by your choices, by your breath, by the conditions of your life, your childhood, your thoughts, your habits, your environment. And just like that, responsibility shifts. It's not about who made you. It's about how you're being made right now. Some might feel uneasy about that, because it means there may be no grand designer, no higher script, but there's also freedom in it. Because if your life is being shaped by causes, you can change the causes. You can plant different seeds. You can wake up. So maybe the deeper question isn't, who created this? But, what am I creating through my thoughts, my actions, and the way I show up in this world? Because in the end, maybe life isn't about tracing it back to a distant origin. Maybe it's about awakening right here, to the mystery that's unfolding all around you, and realizing you are not separate from it. You are it. Stay with me. The real shift is still to come. Part 2. No beginning. The cycles that created you. Let me ask you something. What if there was no beginning? No single moment where everything started. No spark from a God's hand. No big bang boom from nothing. Just motion, flow, continuation. I know it sounds strange. We're wired to think in straight lines. Birth, then life, then death. A start, a middle, and an end. But what if reality isn't a line? What if it's a circle? This is where the Buddha pointed not to a creator, but to a cycle. A cycle called samsara, the endless round of birth, death, and rebirth. Not just in some mystical afterlife, but here, in every moment. Thoughts arise, thoughts fade. Breath comes, breath goes. A child is born. A flower wilts. A new seed sprouts. Everything is moving, transforming. Not because someone is pushing the buttons, but because that's how reality works. The Buddha never claimed to know the first cause. He said, the beginning of the cycle is unimaginable, not because it's hidden from us, but because it doesn't exist in the way we think. There's no clear point you can draw a circle and say, here, this is where it all began. And you know what? Modern science quietly agrees. Even Einstein, who was mesmerized by the beauty of the cosmos, once said, I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the lawful harmony of the world. Not a personal God, not a creator who judges, but a universe governed by patterns, by cause and effect. In Buddhism, this is called pratitya samutpada, dependent origination. It sounds complex, but it's beautifully simple. Everything arises because of something else. Nothing stands alone. No thing, no person, no moment, just is. Like a wave on the ocean, it doesn't exist by itself. It's shaped by the wind, the pull of the moon, the water below it, the wave beside it. Remove one of those causes, and the wave disappears. It's like a spider web. Each thread is connected. Touch one strand, and the whole web trembles. You are that web. The way you think, feel, speak, all of it is shaped by your parents, your culture, your choices, your memories, and also the food you ate, the book you read, the stranger you passed yesterday who smiled at you. There is no isolated you. There is only emergence. And when you really get that, something inside shifts. You stop needing someone up there pulling the strings. You stop asking, who created this? And start wondering, what keeps creating this? That's a powerful shift. It's not saying there's no meaning. It's saying meaning doesn't come from above. It's woven into the web, created by relationships, by interconnection. You're not here by divine decree. You're here because everything before you made you possible. That's not less sacred. That's more. So next time you look up at the night sky, don't search for the hand that lit the stars. Feel into the laws that allow them to burn. Realize you're not separate from that. You're part of the same process. A breath, a heartbeat, a wave rising in a vast, timeless ocean. No beginning, no end, only unfolding. You don't need a creator to feel awe. You don't need a start to begin again. Because the miracle is not that something was made. The miracle is that everything is always being made. Right now, including you. Part 3. Everything is connected and nothing stands alone. Let me tell you a quiet truth. Nothing exists by itself. Not the stars. Not your thoughts. Not even you. I don't mean that in some poetic abstract way. I mean it literally. Everything you are, everything you experience, depends on something else. Let's start with something simple. Your breath. It feels like it's yours, right? But take a closer look. You didn't invent the lungs in your chest. You didn't choose the oxygen in the air. You didn't decide how your heart sends blood to every corner of your body. It all just happens. Because of billions of tiny causes coming together in just the right way. Your breath isn't yours. It's a collaboration between air, body, time, and life itself. In Buddhism, this is called shunyata, emptiness. But it doesn't mean nothing exists. It means nothing exists on its own. Everything is empty of a fixed, separate identity, and full of everything else. You are made of your parents, your ancestors, your choices, your mistakes, and every stranger who ever smiled at you on a hard day. You are not just you. You are us. But we forget that, don't we? We walk through the world thinking we're isolated, separate, me versus them, inside versus outside. And in that illusion, we suffer. We cling. We fear. We ache to control things that were never meant to be controlled. And when life falls apart, a job ends, a relationship breaks, the body weakens, we ask, why is this happening to me? As if we were meant to stand still in a world that never does. Here's what the Buddha taught. Nothing happens to you in isolation. Life is not attacking you. It's just unfolding. Like a wave rising and falling on the ocean. You don't blame the wave for crashing. You don't praise it for forming. You just watch it. Breathe with it. Understand that it's part of something vast, moving, and interconnected. So are you. But don't just believe this because I said it. Look for yourself. Sit still. Feel your breath. Feel how it's not you breathing, not exactly. It's more like breathing is happening, and you're simply here to witness it. The more still you become, the more you notice. Thoughts arise and pass. Emotions come and go. Pain shows up and softens. None of it lasts. None of it is truly yours. And yet, you're still here. Not as a solid self, but as a field of experience. Open, changing, alive. When you realize this deeply, not in your head, but in your bones, something strange and beautiful happens. You stop needing to invent a creator. You stop searching for some all-powerful hand behind the curtain. Because you see, there's no need for one. The universe creates itself, moment by moment, through causes, conditions, relationships, through co-arising, just like the breath, just like you. So if you've ever felt small, or alone, or desperate to find someone in charge, try this instead. Sit, breathe, feel the vastness that holds you. You're not broken. You're not separate. You're not late to your purpose. You are already part of the miracle. Not outside of it. Not after it. Inside it. Soft music fade in. You don't need a creator. You need to see clearly. Because when you truly see, you won't ask, who made this? You'll simply whisper, thank you. Part 4. Karma, the seeds that shape the universe. Let me tell you a story. Not about gods or heavens. Not about judgment or reward. But about something much more intimate. A seed. Imagine this. A farmer walks into his field at sunrise. He places one tiny seed into the soil. Not out of superstition. Not to impress a god. But simply because he knows what soil does. You plant a seed and something grows. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but always something will grow. That in essence is karma. The Buddha didn't see the universe as ruled by a creator watching from above. No judgment, no punishment, no divine scoreboard. Instead, through deep silent meditation, he saw something else. Countless worlds, infinite realms, each one unfolding from intention, from karma, not as some mystical force, but as the simple law of cause and effect. Karma isn't fate. It's not destiny. It's not some cosmic justice system tracking your every move. Karma is this. What you do matters. What you think matters. What you intend matters. Every choice you make is a seed, and those seeds don't disappear. They take root in your mind, in your body, in the world around you. They shape how you see, how you feel, even what kind of world you wake up in tomorrow. This was the Buddha's cosmic vision. Not a heaven created by a loving God, but a universe of interwoven actions. Billions of beings, planting billions of seeds, moment by moment. Each life, shaped not by divine command, but by its own momentum. It's humbling, and it's empowering, because it means your life isn't being written for you. It's being written by you. And here's something to sit with. The Buddha discouraged big questions like, where did it all begin? What's the first cause? Not because those questions are bad, but because they're distractions. They pull us into the mind, into theories and debates, while the real work, the real freedom lies in seeing what's happening right now. Are you angry? Are you afraid? Are you planting seeds of kindness or seeds of pain? That's what matters, because those are the seeds you'll walk through later. It's like a garden. No matter how messy it is, you can always begin again. You don't need to know the origin of the soil. You just need to pay attention to what you're planting today. And the beauty? You're not stuck with the past. Karma isn't permanent. It's always moving, always changing. always waiting for you to wake up. So don't look up, hoping for a God to save you. Don't look back, trying to find where it all started. Look here. Look now. At the thoughts in your mind, at the words on your tongue, at the next step you're about to take. Because the future isn't waiting out there somewhere. It's growing beneath your feet, from seeds you didn't even realize you were planting. The Buddha saw this with open eyes. A universe built not from punishment or praise, but from patterns, from intention. And that's the kind of universe you can trust, because it doesn't need to love you. It just responds to you, like soil to a seed, like echo to a sound, like the world to your heart. Part 5. Waking from the Cosmic Dream. There's a moment right before you wake up when the dream still feels real. Maybe you're flying. Maybe you're falling. Maybe you're walking down a street that feels like home, even though it isn't. And then you open your eyes. The world comes rushing back in. You realize none of it was real. But in the dream, it felt so real. The Buddha once said this universe, this life, our desires, our stories, our fears, they're just like that dream. Vivid, emotional, beautiful even, but ultimately, not what they appear to be. He didn't mean the world doesn't exist. He meant we don't see it as it is. We see it through a veil, woven from craving, fear, identity, and habit. We walk through life as if sleepwalking, wanting things, chasing things, grasping at me, mine, more, like a dreamer clinging to a fantasy that's slowly fading. Modern science, in its own language, is beginning to say something eerily similar, that what we call reality is filtered, shaped by perception, edited by the brain, rewritten by memory. We think we see the world, but really, we see our version of it, just like a dream. But here's where Buddhism goes further. The Buddha didn't stop at insight. He offered a path, a way out, a way to wake up. He said, you suffer because you cling. You cling because you crave. You crave because you're asleep. And when you let go of that craving, even for a moment, you begin to wake. Waking up, in this sense, isn't dramatic. It's not thunder in the sky or fire in the soul. It's quiet, soft, like a breath you didn't know you were holding, finally released. It's seeing things as they are without needing them to be different. I'll tell you something personal. There was a time in my life when I thought success would save me. If I could just reach that next goal, earn more, be more respected, then I could rest. But the closer I got, the more restless I became, like chasing a finish line that kept moving. And one day, sitting quietly, I heard a thought rise in my mind. What if you're already enough? I didn't believe it at first, but I stopped running, just for a moment. And in that stillness, I saw what the Buddha meant. It wasn't the world that was exhausting me. It was the craving, the dream. The Buddha taught that the cosmos itself, this vast, magnificent mystery, is neither good nor bad. It just is. Like a dream, not wrong, not right, but impermanent, ever-changing, empty of fixed meaning. And within that dream, you have a choice. Keep chasing, or start waking. So what does it mean to awaken? It means seeing clearly, without illusion. It means moving through life with awareness, instead of autopilot. It means holding joy lightly, and meeting pain without panic. It means recognizing you are not a separate self trapped in a cold universe. You are the universe becoming aware of itself. Gentle music fades in. The dream isn't the problem. The clinging to it is. So today, you don't need to escape. You don't need to be anyone else. You just need to wake up. One breath at a time. One moment at a time. Because freedom doesn't wait at the end of the dream. It begins the moment you open your eyes. Conclusion. From who to what now? There's a question that echoes through time. Who made all this? Is there a creator? A grand designer? Some divine will behind the stars? People have asked this for thousands of years, across cultures, across continents. And the Buddha, he answered in a way most didn't expect. He didn't argue yes. He didn't argue no. Instead, he turned gently and pointed to something far closer. He said, I teach only one thing, suffering and the end of suffering. To him, the deeper question wasn't, who made the world? But rather, why do we suffer inside it? Because even if someone told you exactly how the cosmos began, would that take away your loneliness? Your anxiety? Your grief? The Buddha saw that underneath all the cosmic stories, underneath belief and disbelief, was the human heart, longing to be free. So he invited us to come back to the present moment, back to what we can see, touch, feel, and live. Not trapped in theory, but awakened in experience. He didn't reject the idea of a God. He simply showed that peace doesn't depend on one. Because when the mind is still, when awareness is clear, the need for certainty begins to dissolve. You no longer chase answers out there. You begin to sense something deeper within. So maybe the question isn't, who made the world? Maybe the real question is, what will I do now with this moment, this breath, this life? Can I live with clarity, with love, with freedom? That's where the path begins. Not in the sky, but in the heart. Just like waves rising from the sea, everything we see, joy, pain, fear, love, arises from causes and conditions. Not a designer, not a punisher, just life unfolding. And when we learn to see that directly, without judgment, without clinging, a quiet peace begins to bloom. Not because all questions are answered, but because they no longer need to be. If this touched something in you, even just a little, maybe share it with someone who needs a pause, someone who's carrying too many questions, and might just need a moment of stillness.